Hey there guys, it's Chaos back again. So I'm bringing you another video today, and I know I've been doing a lot of Hammer the Ancients build lately, but I found a couple of items today that allow me to explore a little bit, and this is gonna probably get some revisions along the way, but I am just kind of playing around with this at the moment. So what I have here is basically what I'm gonna dub the proc a whole lot of shit build, and the reason why that is because let's get right to the items first. I found a Thunder Fury a while ago, as you guys will know. So this is going to basically proc a pretty powerful lightning damage skill, which basically does 307 weapon damage and it jumps to 5 targets. Also slows and reduces their speed by 30%. And then I found this today, and this guy here does basically almost a lightning turret, so to speak, if you do lightning damage to the mobs themselves. Now, these two weapons combined together could do some very nasty things, and this weapon here, if re-rolled to have a socket, would be immensely more powerful. So right now, these two guys here combined are going to proc the two lightning procs off of each other just ridiculously fast. So one other thing that I like to do with this build here is I added in this for the stun chance. I know I had a strong arm, but basically this one here allows me to work with the frenzy that I have, which is the smite rune, and it allows me to take 11% less damage, almost guaranteed, when I'm fighting one-on-one versus anything. And then of course throw in a couple of stuns and stuff like that, and then you got yourself a pretty powerful skill. I also found a Pride of the Cassius today, and Pride of the Cassius, of course, allows you to, have ignore pain up a little bit longer. I haven't tested ignore pain. This guy here breaks the stuns, fear, and immobilize and slow, but I don't know if it would allow you to break freeze. So I haven't tried that yet. But this is actually really, really powerful. I wanted to make a build out of this just in general, because of the fact that this is a very big EHP item. So without being long-winded, everything else stayed the same. I threw in my old IK uh, a glove here because the Mage Fist does really nothing when you're doing lightning damage. So I gained a lot more crit chance back, and I gave it back up over here. So, and this unfortunately not lightning damage. If it was, it would be amazing. And th like I said, this is kind of the first iteration of this build. The SOJ really has no place. I'm using it purely. Oh, actually, you know what? Scratch that, guys, because guess what I have up in here? Yeah, this is kind of live tinkering right here, guys. So we're going with this guy, and we're gonna throw just a junky diamond in it for the moment. And right now I'm up to 1.3 million EHP. I literally can't die on Torment right now. And yeah, with this ring and the region that I have right now, which is 4,888, I literally am almost nearly unkillable at this moment. So without further ado, let's go down there and kill some stuff, and then I'll talk more about it later.
Not enough fury.
So this build basically works on procking a whole bunch of shit. Like I said, this is the reason why I'm calling it proc a whole bunch of shit build. There's not a lot of mobility in this build, but I am tanky to the point where I don't even care. I was doing T6 with my Hammer of the Ancients Barb, so my Hammer of the Ancients Barb, barring no other item being found, might be stagnant, at this moment. So I'm gonna work on this for a little bit because look at this. This is damn fun. So for all those of you out there that, crunch the math and do all this stuff and complain every day about no game-changing legendaries, I mean, seriously, guys. This is a build that nobody in their right mind would think of, and honestly speaking, I was complaining about Frenzy, about something that nobody would ever use, and I am face the hell rolling T4 right now. Now, it isn't as fast as one hitting something with Hammer of the Ancients, obviously, but at the same time, I have no Fury issues, and it opens me up to a lot of things. I'm just going to run through this floor, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I've done different. There's just so many possibilities, and like I said, being the first iteration, I'm sure I'm going to go ahead and do more with this later. And these are probably not even optimized weapons either. Okay, so here's some elites here. like I said, it isn't as fast, but this is amazingly easy to play, and it does the job very well. And Frenzy's pretty amazing at this moment. Loving the hell out of it. And I think this is all due possible because they lowered the HP of mobs, of course, when you're scaling difficulty now. So unlike before, where it was kind of a drag to run something like this, now with the lower HP, you don't have to worry about it as much. Things die quickly enough that you shouldn't have any worries. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of rotating stuns and ignore pain. And usually that gets me through the day. Like I said, I haven't tested ignore pain to see if it takes you away from freezing, but there's really no good way for me to proc that right now. So there's no cooldown or internal cooldown, so I'm just really relying on Pride of the Cassius. Hopefully when you're in the ignore pain state to not get frozen anymore in case the chain freezes. But I think if you throw in Juggernaut, you would probably be unkillable instead of Superstition, because actually, you know what, I might try that because there's no need for the Fury gen right now, so I'm just gonna go with this. And even if I get frozen, I don't think it matters. So what you want to do is you basically want to get in there and literally, you know, just get in there and just hold left click. So yeah, Blizzard wanted to get away from people, you know, not using spenders or using generators, and this build here is basically using nothing but a generator. And this generator is almost like an I win button, so you know what, I think it's pretty kick-ass. I don't think they're going to nerf this because there is probably no need to nerf. I could probably jump into T6 and do the same exact thing right now. And I think this is a combination of just finding stuff and just finding stuff. This got me pretty excited because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what game-changing legendaries should be. And honestly speaking, that is not much slower than using Hammer the Ancients. And if I were to use Hammer to hit individual mobs the way that I am, I might actually go around taking longer because every swing takes so much longer. That is damn fast. And I literally like two-shot things in T6, so you know, there's a lot of power behind Hammer the Ancient, but this is literally blowing my mind right now because the SOJ that I had, I was so disappointed that it was lightning damage, and now it's the best thing ever. This is amazing. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, you know, most of you guys out there are hoarders to begin with. I would advise you guys going forward to just hoard every single thing that you find. The reason for it is because you never know what you will combo up. I mean, I could have easily thrown away the SOJ and even this bracer. This bracer just like, when would I ever stun so many things around me ever? Well, now's kind of that time. I mean, this build is so easy to play that I forget to cast Battle Rage and Warcry, so I'm not even paying attention. There's like no worries or anything like that. It is just ridiculous. And this is a build where I think I can actually put Sprint back in. And with Sprint back in, it would be pretty amazing. So the other cool thing is I no longer need an IK set for this, since this is an all generator build. Once again, there's just so many doors opened up. Whenever you're dealing with spenders, it is so annoying that, you know, you're basically bound and tied to your spendages. I mean, I don't even need the Templar. This runs the same in single player and 2-player or 4 players. It doesn't even matter. And I could even be a very helpful group kind of controller because I can go ahead and use ignore pain to share with everybody else in the group, and there's just so many things.
Still recharging.
I mean, this is exciting for me because literally, I before I made this video, I did like maybe a run just to test out the procs to see how they would stack, and the results are just ridiculous. I swear, I hope Blizzard doesn't take the high road, or they take the high road and just let this stay, because this is a part of how game-changing legendaries are. And I don't know if they made these two weapons work with each other, and if they did, kudos to them because this is amazing. And if they didn't, well, you know what? Time to play it off like you guys did because you guys really need somebody to give you some props with all the negative feedback, throughout the whole ROS process. And I was one of them, talking about how generators are useless. And I'm eating crow right now. So hard. As you can see, I mean, this is, what, 52 million hit points?
Still recharging.
Just getting chewed up. That is not bad of a speed. That is really, really fast, guys. And then when time ROS comes, I mean, I'm gonna have another passive slot. You throw in Ruthless in there, and it is just gonna be zap, zap, pew, pew, laser all day.
Into town.
As you can see, I never even had low life in the entire run. So, okay, let's go break down what I'm working with here. So starting there, I choose Smite because obviously this is going to be lightning damage, and the stun helps to kind of synergize with the rest of the build. And since you're attacking fast like crazy, you can kind of stun lock yellow mobs with good consistency. And then of course you could use this while they're not stunned to keep them stunned for 4 seconds and also draw things near you because the secondary offhand weapon requires that mobs be close in proximity. So this is a nice skill to bring everything together. And also, it just literally gives you, like, if you got 5 mobs, it's 55% damage reduction. That is as good as Ignore Pain. So with Ignore Pain, I didn't even really have to proc it this entire run. And, it might or might not be even essential for this entire build. I don't even have the Frenzy gear yet on my Barb. The belt right now does provide 10%, but, it could still be better. So I really would save this for like an oh shit button, but that would rarely come with this build. Then you have Overpower. I also chose not it's just coincidental that this is lightning damage, but what I did was I just added the crit chance because the more damage you do in that short amount of time, the more procs, and what you're procking is once again bloodshed. So just like Hammer the Ancients, whenever you crit, this guy here will spread 20 yards worth of damage, which is 20% of the damage it dealt. And with as many hits and as many procs and things like that, this is really, really good in killing things in clusters. This is kind of, I think, the Barb's best AoE chance at the moment. So this is a pretty big staple if you ask me. And of course, Warcry, Invigorate. I use this just for the survivability because in the case that you do get frozen, the regen plus the ring, the Rogor's Huge Stone, they really combo up well to keep you alive, and they work almost to the point where when I'm running T6, you need it. It's essential. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, if you build enough natural regen to not require this, I think you basically don't have to worry at that point, and I might have enough gear to do so actually. And this could be freed up to something else. You could have Wrath of the Berserker if you want to just go crazy, put Insanity in here. So like I said, this is iteration 1. You'll see me do quite a bit more of this. So on the bottom here, we just talked about throwing Juggernaut in because I do not need the procs or the damage reduction. Since I got such good damage reduction with this build already, and since the mobs are usually stunned, they're not going to really be able to do any damage to me. So just having the chance to break chain freezes is enough as a passive here. And also throw in Brawler and Berserker Rage. So finally we got a use for this guy, which I've been dying to use, and there's no better fit than in this build here. And obviously, with Ground Stomp, it ties into this. That's like 45% extra damage. And of course, gear. We're going back. Just FYI, guys, these Demon Flights are set craftables that you could trade with your friends right now. And because they are level 60 and legendary, they will have crazy high rolls. You can look at that, 349 max. So I got that right now. And then I also have, my IK Hellman boots, and not necessary, but then the 100 resistance actually really does help. But then the 10 to maximum fury, that's actually going to hurt the build. The less fury you have, the better. I just found these rare pants a while ago. They're not as good as some other pants that I have, but it's maximum res, and it is the highest rolled Archon pants I think you could find right now at the moment. So they're, pretty close to maximum rolls there. So I stuck a couple of gems in there, keep it going. This is the ring that I was talking about. I've been using this ring forever now, and this ring's been very amazing. And luckily for me, the increased attack speed rolls in really well with the rest of this build. Of course, the two weapons you guys seen earlier, I'm just gonna hover over it really quick. And then also just, threw in this SOJ earlier. And I was really bummed when I seen this SOJ at first, because it's lightning, but man, this is just like, yeah, instantaneously good now. And if this was lightning skill as well, you just see this build go even crazier. And of course, you guys seen it earlier when I was talking about the procs. And then of course, Ethereal's might. Now, this amulet here is purely here for DPS, but let me show you. I also have the was it the S of Johan. And basically with this guy here, if it had crit chance, I would literally put this in the build, and what you're gonna get is a cluster of things all over you, and you would rarely have to move. So that's one thing that I can do, or I could throw this guy in and literally never have to worry about freezes ever again. I do lose a hell of a lot of DPS, but that's just some options that it opens up for you. Now, not only do I open up options there, but this is the thing. Utility, no longer am I gonna have to put points here. So guess what? I'm throwing it in. Splash damage, baby. Yeah, for those of you that don't, really give this enough credit, this build is gonna kick some major ass with this area damage, because you are hitting so often. You will spread that damage quite quickly. Although it might not be a lot of damage, but guess what? It's more than this. So that is one thing that you will open up by doing this. Defense, I still leave it in life regen. It's just like the best stat right now. And then all resist is probably second. And then offense, crit hit damage. I mean, crit hit chance, I don't need as much. Although it would be nice to keep procking this guy, but I think I'm at a high enough point where this would give you a better output of damage over this at the moment. And since this is the only proc that I'm getting, this and this with crit hit damage, I think they come at a fast enough rate. But eventually I'll max both out. And in the core, I added all the strength because guess what? I no longer need this as well. So, you know, this build has really opened up so many dimensions of gearing and also just outright building in general. I mean, I'm up to 4,500 strength. And once again, this is purely for the fact that I think dual wielding is so freaking OP right now. And I mean, it's just disgustingly OP. And if anybody want to argue me still, please show me something where you can find right now on the PTR that has a two-hand, weapon, and it's going to be better than this. Just you can't. So, for anybody that wants to still debate this, it is over. This is clearly the winner. Dual wielding is so ridiculously OP right now. So you see, I have increased attack speed, crit hit chance, all of the above. 10-to-1 ratio, of armor resistance. That's where you want to be. Crowd control reduction. This is huge. You're getting that basically from Juggernaut at the moment, and then maximum life and everything else. Like I said, guys, I am super excited about this build, and I'm going to go ahead and do more iterations of it. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to go into T6 build very soon. And it is a lot safer than the Hammer of the Ancients Barb. I mean, I have to concentrate so hard playing that. I could literally watch TV and play. So, stay around, guys, and see what I cook up later, okay? Take care. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.